for another episode of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with me, Ryan Drury, the play-by-play voice of the Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. And we've got another great guest from the team this week, forward Charlie Pacquette. Charlie, how are you, man?
Doing awesome. How are you?
Doing great. I appreciate you doing this. And man, the team has been off to a great start so far this year. You personally are off to a great start as well. In your mind, what's clicking right now? Because the team is just playing so well, particularly in your own zone.
Honestly, I think it's everyone's just such a close group, and we're all willing to buy in together into our systems and what the coaches are saying. And obviously, it helps. We have Braden and Damien in the net making a bunch of big saves, even when we're not there. So I think it's all just coming together. We're all buying in, and everyone's doing the right thing.
You've been around for a couple years now, and obviously last year the team had a really tough start and rebounded extremely well in the second half of the season. This year, very different story. You guys have hit the ground running, or hit the ice skating, maybe I should say. You guys have had an excellent start to the year so far. You mentioned a couple of the things that have been going well for you there, including your goaltending. But for someone like you who's been around the group for a little bit now, what are you seeing in terms of some of the lessons that the team learned last year that have transitioned into this great start this season, Charlie?
Yeah, I think a big one is just knowing that, if we're down one goal, we can always come back. And, there's just because they have a lead going into the third doesn't mean the game's over. I think just everyone working together and everyone buying into our system and knowing that if we just play the right way, we're going to win. Whereas last year was maybe we're going in, we're a little bit timid going into a period where we're down by a goal or two. So I think it's this year we're just confident in ourselves that we can go in and win every game. So
now yourself, you've become kind of a Swiss Army knife for the team. You do a little bit of everything out there, and it's pretty obvious that Chad Wiseman and the staff really have trust in you to go out on the ice in many different situations, including the penalty kill, which, we talk about your great goaltending so far, the team buy-in so far. Last year, the penalty kill really struggled. This year, completely opposite. You guys on that penalty kill, you are not giving up very much. As a matter of fact, you guys have not allowed, as we record this episode, you guys have not allowed a power play goal on the road, which one would think would maybe be the opposite, maybe a little more comfortable playing at home. But on the road, you guys have been excellent and have not allowed a single power play goal, and you barely allowed any in your home games. What is going so right for this Guelph Storm penalty kill?
I honestly think it just ties back into everyone buying into our system, trusting our goalies to make the simple saves. And, I think we block so many shots as a team that everyone's just willing to, do our system, do what we're doing, do what we know our penalty kill can. And, it's just been working for us so far, and we're hoping to keep that going.
Your power play's no slouch either, and you've gotten some time on there as well early in this season, and you've been putting up some great points so far, 9 points in 12 games. You've been scoring some great goals, including one that we'll talk about against Ottawa recently that got credited to you. What's going so well out there with your power play, the other side of the special teams? Because on both sides of the puck on special teams, you guys seem to really be clicking, and there's some new additions on the team too that are really kind of helping elevate that unit as well.
Yeah, honestly, I probably sound like a broken record here, but it's just buying into the system and everyone trusting each other, do their own jobs. And I think everything's just working together. We have guys that can shoot, we have guys that can make plays, and honestly, I think it's just buying in and everyone doing their own job, and just seems to be working for us.
Now, you're a guy that has kind of really become a fan favorite. We up in the booth, we always kind of like to describe you as a lunch pail guy, just a guy that shows up at the rink. And ever since you stepped into the league, you've been a guy that has never cheated anybody on effort. You're out there, you mentioned, the team blocking shots, making hits, making plays, doing everything to try and win. You've been doing that since you came into the league. What was it about the way, you kind of grew up and playing hockey as a young player that made you such a well-rounded player now?
Honestly, I think it was just, when I was younger, it was always, I like to score goals, but, I knew that maybe wouldn't come as easy once I got into the OHL. And so I always liked to hit, and I was physical, and I was always gritty, and I had a little bit of a temper when I was younger too. So I think that maybe has boiled over into the OHL. But honestly, I think I can always fall back on my physicality. And I think I just, always work my hardest and do my best, do everything I can to try and help the team win a game. So,
Well, it's controlled aggression for sure, and it's appreciated. I know the fans love it when you're out there and laying the body, and this year scoring some great goals. And recently, that home game against Ottawa, where Guelph hadn't beat Ottawa in 4 years, ever since Game 6 of the 2019 championship, the 67s had Guelph's number up until that game recently, and you scored a pretty unbelievable goal. It was credited to Ryan McGuire, your line mate, who we'll touch on in a minute. But after the game, they noticed that it actually had trickled over, and you made an unbelievable play on that goal. When you were growing up playing and, watching guys, maybe it was guys in the NHL, guys you grew up playing with, I'm sure coaches, who were some people that really influenced the way you play your game? Because, you just have such an engine out there. There's no quit in your game, Charlie.
yeah, I think one is just watching a lot of hockey when I was younger, trying to pick apart, some people's games that I thought I would like to play like that one day. But I think another thing is I grew up in a gym. My dad owns a gym, and he trained a lot of NHL players since I was growing up. And I was always kind of next to Zach Cassian and Dalton Proud, and those guys just they work hard, so hard that it's kind of hard not to follow suit. And everything they've basically told me is that as long as you're working hard, something will go your way, and you can always rely on something. So I think that's probably a very big influence on why I like to do that, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's clearly rubbed off because, like I said, everybody knows what they're going to get when you hit the ice. I've asked a number of your teammates, the question of when it kind of came into your game. You start growing up and you start thinking maybe you could make it to a higher level, and, the training aspect and the nutrition aspect and taking things really seriously in terms of your off ice health really kicks into gear. I mean, you kind of answer it like your dad owned a gym. I'm sure that lifestyle probably kicked in for you at maybe a younger age than some of your teammates, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little younger, but honestly, I think a big thing for me was getting into the gym when COVID happened, because I was really the only one allowed in there because there was no other gyms open. And I think just knowing that, I had the possibility of moving away from home at a young age, and knowing that I may got to get bigger, stronger, and leaner, whatever it is, I think that's what really kicked in for me, thinking I got to take this a little more seriously in the gym. So that's the only good thing I could say about COVID, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't a lot of good things about it, including not being at the Sleeman Center watching you guys. Obviously you're an Essex native, which is home to a pretty legendary junior team over there, the 73s, who I've had experience covering over the years. A great place, a great hockey town as well. And I know you spent time growing up playing for the Windsor Junior Spitfires. Take us back to kind of youth hockey and what you remember best about growing up and playing the game and just having fun out there.
I think my favorite memories of minor hockey are probably just playing 6 games in one weekend, going away for a tournament, and playing mini sticks in the hallway with my teammates and stuff. But yeah, it's so many good memories. Just not really caring if you have a bad game. You can bounce back because it just maybe doesn't matter. Whereas this one, maybe now it just falls on your shoulders a little more. But yeah, I just miss playing 6 games and not getting tired over the course of a weekend and just having fun doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, the motor runs a little differently when you're, 12, 13 years old. You can just kind of power through that. And, I wonder too, I'm sure, as you mentioned, your dad and many different coaches growing up, who are some people you maybe want to give a shout out to that have influenced your journey so far in the game, Charlie?
Obviously my parents, just because they've been next to me every step of the way, but my trainers, and got to give a good shout out to my grandma. She still comes to all the games that she can, and my uncles, they're super invested. But my brother and sister are huge for me too, because they're every chance I get, they're watching a game or texting me, or they're more involved than anybody else I can think of. So yeah, just those people.
Let's talk about the group you're a part of this year. Obviously, I've had a number of your teammates on the show already, and everybody kind of says the same thing. Like and we see it too, when we walk by you guys doing your pre-game routine and playing sewer and all that. You guys just seem like a really fun group of kids, man. You guys are a really, really tight group, and that's obviously really special and will be something that you kind of remember and carry on with you through the rest of your life?
Yeah, I honestly think I can say it without any doubt. I think we're the closest team in the whole league. We're at the rink all day together. You know, some guys are at school, but we decide, you know, at the 8 hours we're at the rink together wasn't enough. We end up at someone's billet house playing mini sticks or whatever it is, just watching a game. So we're always together. I think we're just such a tight group, and that's something that we can, you know, build on throughout the rest of the year, and that'll just make us go even deeper than we want to, just because we have just such a close knit group.
If you guys are playing mini sticks, or maybe you drag the hockey sticks out and play some road hockey, are you still bringing that physical element? Are you the guy throwing hip checks down in the basement against some of your teammates, or what?
Sometimes I try, but you know, I gotta tone it down a little bit. So
That's fair. That's fair. I wonder too, you guys getting together and hanging out and stuff like that. I know when I was younger, the boys would all get together, especially if it was a crappy day outside, maybe, and we couldn't go out and play road hockey. We would play Chell pretty much all day long. Are there
yeah.
Chell tournaments still occurring? And are you good? Who's the best?
You know what? I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I think I give the most character playing NHL. I think
Okay.
me and Bonesy have some pretty tight games. Me and Migsy have some pretty tight games, but the best, I don't know, probably Bonesy or Migsy, one of those two. I'd put myself in the 3 slot, I think. Yeah.
Really? Okay. I like this. You've got rankings. You've thought this through. Okay. Well, I consider myself a pretty good NHL player. I might have to carve out some time. I'll bring my PlayStation one day and
Okay.
I'll sit down with Bonesy and we'll go down the line, because I think I'm pretty good.
I think you'd have to take me on first. If you can beat me, you can beat
Okay.
me.
You want me to climb the
Yeah.
rankings is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay, I got to
Yeah.
earn my way to the bone collector. That's fine. That's fair enough. Do you have a preference? Like, do you guys just do random teams, or do you have a preferred NHL team that you like to use?
No, we do randoms. We get 3 randoms. Someone gets a block,
Yes,
and then if you don't like it, you got to be the next random you get. So
that's the proper way to do it. I like this. Okay, so you
yeah,
guys have proper Chell etiquette. I
yeah.
just want to make
Oh, yeah.
sure that the younger generation is still keeping that going.
Always.
Very good. I want to ask you too, growing up, did you have a favorite NHL team? Were there some favorite players that stuck out to you that kind of influenced the way you like to play?
Honestly, I've never had a favorite NHL team. Maybe Detroit, because I was so close to them. I
Yes.
just liked watching the game. I never really. I went through a little phase of being a Jets fan. I don't really know where that came from, but and then obviously there was players. I've always liked watching, McKinnon when he came into the league, and I liked watching. Tom Wilson's always been one of my favorites because he can basically do it all. So I've never really stuck to one guy or one team. It's always just been whoever was playing that night.
I like the Tom Wilson shout out. I don't know if it's filtered down to you from your teammates, but I'm
Oh,
a giant Capitals fan.
I
So
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I respect the Tom Wilson shout out. Very good. I like it. And you've got that element to your game too, and I like that. What was kind of a moment for you when you were first coming in the league? That classic welcome to the OHL moment. Was there a moment where you really remember kind of getting wide-eyed and thinking, wow, I'm here, I'm playing in the best junior league in the world?
I gotta think. I don't know. Probably honestly just the home opener or playing in the Sleeman Center for the first time when it was sold out. You look up and you can't see an empty seat. It's like, wow, this is crazy. There's 5,000 people cheering for your team, and you go out there and it's just you. Someone said it in our room today. You feel 3 inches taller than you actually are. So it's a pretty cool feeling. But no, there's always one, the first big hit you take or the first shot on net. You think it goes in, but it's not even close. So I think there's a bunch of things that you can think of welcome to the league. But I'd say the first game playing in front of a sold out crowd is probably the one.
It's a pretty special building, and it's a special market too. Like, it's a great league and it's great to play anywhere. And I'm sure you would have been happy playing anywhere, but there is something special about the Royal City. What are some of your favorite things about Guelph? I'm sure you guys are able to kind of get out and experience it a bit. It's a pretty special place, eh?
Yeah, it's I don't even know where to start. It's just a beautiful city to me. I got a pretty good view from backyard of my billets. Looks right onto the cutting club, so that's one good thing. That's the rink's always full. It's just a nice downtown. There's always something to do here, whether it's just be at someone's house or go out for dinner. I can't really pick one thing, but I just love it so much here. I never want to leave.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Well, hey, the fans don't want you to leave either because the season you guys are putting together, and you in particular, has been pretty great. I mentioned earlier a guy that we see you play with a lot, Ryan McGuire. You guys are very versatile. You can kind of filter through the lineup. As I mentioned earlier, Chad's very comfortable throwing you guys out there in whatever type of situation. You guys seem to have a very special chemistry. You're kind of the terror twins out there. You guys are always the ones setting the tone physically. You guys aren't the biggest guys out there either, and you're throwing your weight around. It's really endearing to the fans and the broadcasters as well. We see the work you're putting in. What's so special about playing with Migsy? Because he's quite a little feisty character out there too.
Yeah, it's been from day one. We've both been here. We played on each other's line, but next to each other the whole time. And I think it's just been enough where we both know how each other play. We know where each other are, and we both know that our team needs an energy that we need to go hit people. If that's what the team needs, that's what we'll go do. And I think we're both the guy that just will do anything that the team needs and not really question it. So yeah, it's pretty cool playing along with him. It's been 3 years now, and couldn't really ask for a better line mate. So.
Sounds like a hockey player, man. That's a good answer. I like it. I want to learn a little bit more about you as well. We've been trying to do that on the show a little bit. I know that there's long bus trips, of course. You guys recently got back from a northern ripping up through North Bay and Sudbury and all that stuff. So I wonder, is there any Netflix preferences, shows you like to download and watch? Is there stuff like that you're kind of paying attention to?
I've been watching a little bit of Shameless recently, but I have a hard time sticking with
Nice.
one show. But on the bus, there's a lot of cards being played and a lot of, actually we started bringing a monitor and a PS4 to play some NHL. But me and
Wow.
yeah, I know. So me and Ryan, surprisingly, were roommates, and we got into a little bit of Madden as well. So not so much movies. We'll just throw on Big Bang Theories usually on when we're hitting the sheets. So throw that till we fall asleep, and that's pretty much it.
I like it. Okay. So, we're mixing some Madden into you. You're speaking my language here. So, are you a football fan then? Do you have a favorite team?
I do, but you're not allowed to call me a bandwagon. I've liked them since I was young.
I'm excited. What are you going to say?
Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Okay, you're a Chiefs fan. Okay, I'll accept that. I thought that you were going to join me in Patriots Nation,
Oh,
but I'll accept that. The Chiefs, no, yeah, absolutely not. No, I like that. The Chiefs, hey, man, they've been a great team for a long time, even back when Alex Smith was there, and they're
yeah.
fun to watch now. What kind of inspired your fandom there? Because, like I said, they're a historic team.
Yeah, my Uncle Ray, he's a huge Chiefs fan, and I always that's when I first got into football, and then my dad always liked them. He always every time I asked him, he would say that, "Oh, I'm a Chiefs fan." So I kind of just fell in love with the Chiefs, just watching them. That's the only time I watched football when I was younger, and I've just grown in. That's my favorite team. So
I assume that's your go-to when you're playing Madden, of course.
no, it's the randoms again. We gotta
You
go
run
into
that. I like it. No, that's a good system to use.
yeah.
I have to ask you then, if you're a Chiefs Nation fan here, what's your opinion on the whole Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing? What do you think of this?
I don't know. It's good for him, I guess. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Are you a Swiftie? Do you support her?
Couple songs here and there, not
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, no, hey, it seems like they're having fun. So yeah, good for them. They both got plenty of money, I guess. So I'm sure
yeah.
Taylor's probably picking the bill up maybe a little more than Travis is, I would
Should
think.
be, should be.
Yeah, you never know. So on that note, then, speaking of music, I know everybody's kind of got a different game day routine. I know, different guys kind of, grab the iPod, if you will, in the room. Do you have any music that you like to listen to get you pumped up, or that you just like to chill out to?
On when we're on the bus, I usually throw my headphones in and put every single one of my songs on shuffle and just skip through until I like one that's on. And then in the room, whoever's on aux that day, I'll let them just play some music and I'll dance to anything. I can get pumped up to anything, so I'm pretty easy.
I like that. Now I've heard from a number of your teammates already that there's a big country contingent in the room.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What's your opinion on this?
I love country. Love
There you
country.
go. You got
My
any favorite
family.
artists?
Uh, I like Zach Bryan. He's been my favorite, but Yeah, I've kind of always liked country, but Zach Bryan's up there right now, or Luke Combs. I'm a big Luke Combs fan.
Yeah, that's a common answer I'm hearing. And again, I'm waiting for one of you guys, and I don't know if you've seen any of the other episodes. I'm waiting for one of you guys to throw some heavy metal my way.
I do like heavy metal too. I
Let's
do.
go. Tear some artists off. What do you got?
Actually, I started learning the guitar a little. Actually, I'll go through my artists. I love
Nice.
Metallica. I like Leonard Skinner.
Let's
Um,
go.
I like Led Zeppelin. They're a little bit older, but I don't know, you can kind of name one. I probably like them, to be honest with you.
They're
So
the class. Hey, Led Zeppelin's the class. They're the godfathers of metal. Come on.
yeah, yeah, I like some heavy stuff here and there. I like you can pretty much throw any. I like Rage Against the Machine and all those too. So
Now
yeah,
we're talking maybe a little Alexis on Fire in there, some Canadian
I don't know
support.
that one. I don't know that
Alexa,
one.
I'll toss you with Canadian legends from St. Catharines. You got to mix them in. They got
I'll
some
try.
good pump up stuff.
I'll
There you
try.
go. Hey, I love it. Led Zeppelin, throw some Rage on, Rage Against the Machine. How can you not get pumped up to that,
No,
right?
I know.
So I want to ask you as well. I've thrown this at all of your teammates, even your goaltender Braden Gillespie, which it was a bit of a different question to him because he's a goaltender. But if you could pick a song, if a lot of NHL teams are letting guys pick their own goal songs, is there one that sticks out to you that you would like to pick right now for a goal song? If you could pick a custom one.
I think I would on it. I don't know. Stick with the same one we got right now. I like it. Uh,
Okay,
uh,
I'm fine with that. Maybe throw the warm-up song in there, get some Thunderstruck. I feel like you in particular, Charlie, need a heavy metal song for a goal song.
Sounds good. I'd let you pick it for me. If we ever get that chance, you can pick mine.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I actually think Rage Against the Machine there's a couple tracks that would be fine for you. Maybe throw some Bomb track on. Why not?
Yeah, one of them.
That'd be fine. I think the heavy metal stuff, I think it suits your game just fine.
I'd agree.
I want to ask you as well. I've asked all your teammates this too. If you could build me a dream starting lineup on the ice with yourself, of course, playing wing, who would you put? It could be anybody, guys you played with before, NHL players. I've heard a lot of different answers from guys. So put yourself on the ice. Give me a goaltender, 2D, and 2 forwards for you to play with, Charlie. Who would your dream lineup be?
Crosby,
Nice.
Gretzky, maybe.
Okay.
Um, actually, no. Crosby, Eric Lindros,
Whoa, the big E.
Scott Stevens, and
Wow.
then I'll go Konstantinov that played on the wings, and then a goalie, Terry Sawchuk. I don't know.
Wow.
Get a
Okay.
little blind line going out there.
I love that you picked a bunch of very gritty guys out there. If
Yeah.
you were out there playing with Sidney Crosby, Scott Stevens, shout out to the Konstantinov reference, man. That guy, Vlad, hey, he was as tough as it gets. And
Yeah.
throwback to Terry Sawchuk, was there ever a tougher goalie in NHL history? Probably not. I love that. That's some intimidating. And Eric Lindros, and Scott Stevens, I don't think there's a lineup where people would have to keep their head on a swivel more than that, Charlie. You guys would be hurting people out there.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one, man. Okay, so what you need to do now is I think you guys should all get together, you and all the Chell guys, and you should build your lineups on NHL because you guys are all in the game. And you should build your lineups and play against each other with your lineups. I think that's the play here.
Yeah. I don't know how much I don't know how much that team will help me to beat Bonesy, but it's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm very intrigued now because I wish I had known this when I talked to Bonesy. I didn't know he was such a Chell master.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very intrigued. Interesting. Okay. So I obviously want to ask you as well, the team has had a great start. You guys have, really improved in basically every area since last year. Just how far do you think this team can go? Because it looks like you guys are putting something together that's pretty special here, Charlie.
I think we can win. I think that's in all of our heads, and I think that's everyone's goal this year. And that's the bottom line. I think we just want to win.
Hey, why not? The way you guys are playing, man, every aspect of the game, why not you guys? I want you guys to keep that mantra. It's fun for us up in the booth to watch you. Mark and Scott and I are having a great time being around you guys, and you're a fun group to watch. Why not you guys? I really appreciate you doing this, Charlie. It was a fun chat. And, I wish you the best of luck going forward. You've had a great start to the season individually, and the team's playing great. So it's been a lot of fun for the fans at the Sleeman Center, man. Keep it going. Thanks for doing this.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Remember, everybody, you can find this show on Apple, on Spotify. You can find it on the YouTube channel as well. It debuts Thursdays at 9 a.m. You can also find links to it on the Guelph Storm website. And hey, for all your ticketing needs, visit the Guelph Storm website or the box office at the Sleeman Center. This has been another episode of Eye of the Storm. We'll be back next week with more.